YouTube, what's going on? Anthony here from Firearms TV. So in the past couple of days, the New Jersey State Legislature decided that they wanted to pass a magazine restriction limiting the number of rounds per magazine that we would be allowed to have from 15 to 10 rounds, going so far as to invite victims from Sandy Hook to New Jersey to talk about this. This bill has been presented, and Christie is going to have to either go no-go on it. So we're going to have to see what happens with that in the future. But it got me thinking, what is the purpose of this 10-round magazine? To me, it just doesn't make any sense. It just seems like another feel-good law, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's talk about these feel-good laws and how not only do they not help anything, they're actually more dangerous than someone might think. Welcome to Firearms TV. Okay, so what is a feel-good gun control law? Basically what you're looking at is a law that comes to surface normally right after some sort of tragedy, be it Columbine, be it Aurora, be it Sandy Hook. They all had laws that just exploded out of nowhere due to a gut reaction to a tragedy. Let's face it, these are full-on tragedies. Nobody likes to see anything like this happen, and if in their minds limiting the rounds, the amount of rounds that you can carry per magazine would change that, then maybe there would be something to this. But let's delve a little bit deeper than that. Let's go off the surface of what these laws are and get a little bit deeper into what they really are. Feel-good gun control laws are in themselves dangerous, because what they're doing is they're saying this is the problem. Right here we have what the main issue is, and when we get rid of this, that's going to make things better. Maybe it makes it just a little bit better, but it makes it better. And they absolutely do not. They are extremely dangerous, and it's dangerous to think that way too. As you'll see in a little bit, I'll pull my handgun out, completely unloaded of course. I'll do a magazine change for you. I am by no means a professional shooter, and if I can reload a magazine as fast as I can, then there's zero thinking to these feel-good laws. What you really need to do is go a little bit deeper than that. What they seem to think is, okay, we limit from 15 rounds to 10 rounds. Say a person can carry 3 magazines on them. Well, now they can only carry 30 rounds instead of 45 rounds. Now, at 100% marksmanship, which I certainly don't have, and I don't know anybody that has 100% marksmanship, that's 45 kills as opposed to 30 kills. Okay? Now, these folks making the gun control laws would say, if you could save just one child, that in itself is a victory. That is extremely dangerous thinking. Not because I'm not in favor of that one child surviving, but because you're making it seem like the 30 are better than the 45. You're a monster if you think that. There is zero reason for these shootings to be occurring, and there's no reason whatsoever to assume that because 30 people died, now you're thinking, well, it could have been 45. That is monstrous thinking. That's reprehensible thinking. What really needs to happen is you need to go deeper into why these incidences are occurring. These incidences are occurring because people are doing them. These people are not right in the head, and yet they're able to get their hands on these firearms, be it from their friends, from their family. These people are nuts in the head. But instead of going after the people that are nuts in the head, you're going after the magazine that they're using. Where's the common sense thinking behind that? I personally don't see it. Now let's keep in mind, New Jersey already has a magazine restriction. We've already restricted it from the 30 rounds that pretty much everybody else in the country can have down to 15. And have we seen a huge, dramatic decrease in crime? Of course not. New Jersey has some of the most violent crime in the entire country. We also have an entire group of people who can't do anything about it when they're outside their house. I'm one of them. If I'm walking around the streets and somebody robs me, I'm pretty much shot out of luck. I have no choice. I have to give this person my money. I have to give this person my car. Maybe he'll even still shoot me. Who knows what's going through this person's mind, alright? So we already have a magazine restriction. Is it going to do any difference if we take it from 15 to 10? Of course not. People who follow laws generally aren't called criminals. Criminals are criminals because they don't follow the laws. So they don't care. You can restrict it down to 1 round per gun, and you can only shoot it with your right hand. It doesn't matter. Felons and criminals, they don't care. So that's where your problem is. The problem's not in the magazine size. All right? You don't, generally speaking, have people running around the streets with ARs with 100-round drum magazines. You have people walking the streets with handguns, committing crimes in stores, killing people. These criminals are who need to be controlled. If they didn't have a gun, they'd have a knife. If they didn't have a knife, they'd have a bat. If you think people don't get robbed with knives and bats, you're out of your mind. All right? So it's not the gun. It's the person behind it. So what do we do? That's the real problem. What do we do? Someone might say, Anthony, you seem to have all these, all this stuff to say. What would you do? Well, that's a fair question. If I was someone in control of this type of situation, how would I react? Maybe if you were the governor, if I was someone in the state legislature, well, first thing I would do is I would not go after stupid things like magazine capacity. What do I care how many people have 30-round magazines that want to go blow holes in pieces of paper at the range for fun? That doesn't affect me at all. What I would immediately go after is the criminals. You have to go after the criminals. Well, there's millions of criminals. How could you possibly stop them all? There's millions of guns. You can't possibly get them all, but you're trying. So go ahead and go after the bad guys. I don't care what you have to do. Form task forces and just sweep them up. Do what you have to do. On top of that, you're also looking at a mental health issue. There's a mental health issue with these people that are going around and doing school shooting. None of these people are just in their right mind. If they were in their right mind, they wouldn't go shooting schools. All right? Let's just use, for an example, Adam Lanza, since it's one of the most recent things in this whole slew of shootings. Adam Lanza was a recluse who stayed in his basement with blacked out curtains, had zero interaction with any of his friends, any of his family. He had a cell phone that he never used. All he ever did was go upstairs, take food off of the stove that his mom prepared for him, bring it back downstairs and eat it. Completely antisocial. That is not normal behavior. Now, you can go ahead and say, oh, my son is different. Well, individuality can be a great thing. That is not a great thing. When your child is completely reclusive and you have zero contact with him, whether he has a small mental health issue or not, that's not normal behavior, and that needs to be addressed. Now, you end up going away and coming home, and you obviously know what happened. He killed his mother, and off you went. That was it. You now have a son who was trained by his mom, because he took him to the range. She took him to the range frequently. She also was about to purchase a handgun for him as well. And this is a person who has mental health issues. I believe documented mental health issues. And this person was allowed to get his hands on guns. So now, is that a normal thing? Does that seem like the right thing to do? That's one thing that I would go after. There's a mental health issue and there's a crime issue. Crime is not... let's put it this way. If there was zero guns, there wouldn't be zero crime. All right? So, obviously the gun is not the issue. Obviously the magazine is not the issue. Feel-good laws, such as magazine capacity, that's why they get dangerous. When you have a law get enacted that says, hey, we're going to put this forward and it's going to help things. This doesn't help things. All this does is take away 5 rounds from people who might be able to use them to defend their family, defend their life in their house. I have a house. If I had someone break into my house and I had no other option and I had no choice but to take the shot, I'm sorry, I'd rather 15 than 10. I'd rather 30 than 15. I'd rather 100 than 30. Because I'm not out to break the law. The person breaking into my house, who probably has that 15-round or 30-round magazine, he's out to break the law. So it's not a matter of who has the magazines. It's a matter of who has access to the criminal element. He's not a good person. That's why he's not breaking into the house because he has a gun. He's breaking into the house because he's not a good person. He's a criminal. So go after the criminals, go after the mentally deranged. That's how we go ahead and fix some of this problem. Okay? If you agree with me, comment below. If you disagree with me, please, by all means, write below, comment away. I've been really good about answering everybody, and I welcome all walks of argument on this. if if I think you're wrong, I'm going to call you out on it. But I've been very fortunate. I have a great community here. I'm working with a lot of really great people right now, and I'm pretty sure they feel the same way I do. I can't speak for them, but I'm pretty sure they do. So go ahead, rate, comment, subscribe, share the video around. We've been getting really popular. We've been getting dozens and dozens of emails a day about these videos. So go ahead, give us a comment. Let us know what you think. Anthony's out, man.